What's up, guys? Chris with Croft CNC and CNC for Newbies here. Wanted to go live and show you guys how I do my new JTech 14 watt laser setup. I'm actually designing a Florida 305 Miami ornament for my wife and daughter and myself, and wanted to kind of include you guys in the process. I mean, it's nothing major, but let's go through it. I'll show you some of my settings, and we'll go from there. So let's do this. Let's share. All right, how am I going to share my screen now? Present, share screen, window. Okay, that's how we do it. All right, so now if I go up here, share screen, window, and that one. Okay, this was my 305 Florida design. And basically, I treat this a lot like I would my plasma cutter files. And what I mean by that is anything that has an interior profile cut, I have to make sure that I bridge it to the outside. So like this O for the 0, I just put an 1/8 inch bridge in there. And that will allow me to cut this 0 out, but leave a bridge so the center stays intact. Okay. The way that I came up with this, let's see here. I'm going to minimize, and I'm going to show you this. I'm going to remove that, and I'm going to share my screen here. So this was my original download. It's red, it's black, it's white. You know, it is what it is. So what I did was, let's share entire screen. Click that, share that. And what I did was I went here, I opened with my trusty paint.net. All right. Make that large. Okay. Now, my paint.net, first things first, I'm going in. I'm going to choose my magic wand tool, and I'm going to pick all of the stuff that I want to change colors. So this one, I want to change that all to white. I'm going to go to up here. I'm going to go down to paintbrush. I'm going to make my paintbrush size, let's say 100. Now, if I show you, this is my left click mouse color. This is my right click mouse color. So if I do this, I can go through and I can make my colors what I need. So now these red shadows here, I'm going to go back up. I'm going to do a magic wand. I'm going to select that one. And that looks pretty good. So we'll go back to the paintbrush. I'm going to use the right mouse button. Okay. So now I can go back to my magic wand. That doesn't strike me as good. So I'm going to select one of these drop shadows, hit the control button, and now I'm just going to go through and select the drop shadows that I want to turn into a black color. Like so. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to paintbrush, and my primary color is black. And now I'm just going to go across the screen with it. And that should make that border nice and thick. Go back to the magic wand. Okay, I'm going to select in the white area, hold down the shift key, left click. Now everything that's white is selected. I'm going to go in, paintbrush, and I'm just going to go over the entire setup and make sure all of the white is digitally white. Okay. Now I'm going to Control I. That inverts the selection, and I'm going to make sure all of the black is digitally black. So I'm going to hold down my left mouse key or mouse button. I'm going to go back and forth over everything just to make sure everything is digital jet black and as pasty white as I am. All right. All that's good. We're now going to go to Save As. And I'm going to replace this 305 because I already know. Now, if you'd like to know what size it is, you can go up here and click Resize. And it'll tell you it's 96 pixels per inch or DPI. And it is a 10.4 by 10.4 image. I could make that 200. Click OK. I'll go to Save As. I'll replace that. And I'll close. Okay. So now we're going to go through and we're going to start the process here. Let me delete this. All right. That's deleted. Let's bring this full screen. We're going to delete that. Okay, so when you guys first start up, you're usually going to have this. I'm doing about 4 5/8 by 4 5/8 with a 1/4 inch thickness. Material surface is my 0 point, and center of the square is my 0. Click OK. I'm going to go up here to Folder, Import Bitmap. I'm going to choose my 305. I'm now going to go to Trace Bitmap right here. I'm in black and white. Noise, bitmap fading. Let's click Preview. That looks really good. We're going to click Apply and Close. We're going to select the bitmap by clicking on one of the black areas. And we're going to hit the delete button. Look at how clean that trace came out. That looks good. Okay. Now, we're going to select all of it. We're going to hit U for ungroup. We are also going to see what size we're looking at. Height. Let's make that not 40. Make that 4 inches. We close. We'll align everything to center. All that looks really good. Okay, let's check our trace for any opens. There are no open vectors. Let's validate it. There are no zero length spans, no overlaps, no intersections. We have a great file going. Now, here's one of the things. Look at all those nodes. What I did to check for nodes was I went into node edit mode right here. And look at that. All of those. That's not good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit curves. I'm going to go to there. Let's go to Bezier curves. My tolerance is up a little bit. Sharp corners. Okay. Let's test one more time. That looks pretty darn good. Yeah, that looks a lot better now. Okay, all those are singles. So now let's go over to the tool pathing options. All right, we are going to want to cut these out. So I'm going to use a profile tool, and my laser is set at an 1/8 inch offset from the wood. So every time that I want to cut through this wood, I need to move the laser down a little. And so I know my spacing is an 1/8 inch. If I go down, I should just be at the surface of the wood. I'm going to show you my cut settings. Here's my JTech cut settings. All right. I put one flute in there. I put 9 as my diameter, 9 thousandths. You could go down to 6 thousandths, but whatever your diameter is of the laser head, you want to make sure that that's your step over also. Your pass depth, I know if I split 0.125 into 3, because it takes me 3 passes to cut through the 1/4 inch plywood, it will basically work out to 0.041. So this puts me a little less than that. I want full PWM, which is 255. I'm going to cut at 10 inches a minute. I'm going to plunge at 10 inches a minute, and I'm going to select. Okay. I'm going to edit my passes. I only need 3 passes. So as you can see what my passes are, I can actually tell you that my plywood is cutting through pretty good at 1 pass. But I do the other passes just to make sure it cuts all the way through and I get a clean edge all the way down. So we'll click OK. I want to be on these profiles. Conventional doesn't really matter. Climb cutting doesn't matter. None of this other stuff matters. Okay. So we click calculate. And let's reset because I had another one there. And that's what I'm going to have. So all of this should be solid. This should be cut out. This should be cut out. This should be cut out. And this should be cut out. Now, when I look at this, I go, oh no, I made a mistake, because this part, if this is cut out, this part will fall out. Now, if I was doing it as a top piece and I had a backer that I would super glue it to, I wouldn't be too worried. So what we'll do is we'll close out of this. We'll go over here and we'll go in here. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to make a line basically in line with this. I'm going to offset that line an 1/8 inch. I'm going to clip it. I'm going to close. Just so you guys know, I went right here and I just trimmed everything. All right. Now we're going to go over, we're going to select the profile that I did have. I'm going to reselect everything and I'm going to calculate again. I'll reset my preview screen. I'll hit play. That's what's going to cut out now. Now, this part of the O will cut out, but this center section here will stay intact because of this bridge. Okay, that's something I learned a lot of in the plasma cutting industry. It was a hard lesson to learn, but once you got it, you always look for that stuff. So now I'll close. And here's where it gets a little different for people. I have a UCCNC setup with pulse width modulation and air activation. This is a post processor that I did. So if you're interested in it, let me know. I can put it up there. I am using my CNC for Newbies high-speed Nucar 3636. So now I just hit Save Toolpath, and don't have my jump drive in there, so I'll just save it to the desktop. And now I'm ready to go out to the machine and do a cut. So I'll save as 305 ornament. And save. Save as. Okay. Just to make sure. Save toolpath. Profile 1. Okay. And that's it, guys. We made the G code. Let's take a look here. Here are our beginning image, our new image, our ornament profile and toolpath. So the design and toolpath, and then here's our G code. So let's take a look over this G code and see what it's saying to us. So this G code, profile 1 is the name of it. It was created today. It was created for UCCNC laser from CNC for Newbies post processor. It's this big of an area. It has one toolpath used. The tool is a JTEC 14 watt laser in cutting mode. This is our program header. All right. Okay. So once I hit cycle start on this, it's going to jump up to 0.8, which is about almost 7/8 above the material. It's going to move to the 0, if I'm not already there, at 10 inches a minute. It's going to turn on the what would be the spindle, but it's actually the laser input with no spindle speed. It's then going to move down to the Z once it reaches the lower left corner of the design. It's then going to lower itself to 42 thousandths down at 10 inches a minute. it's going to turn on the air. It's then going to activate the laser on an M10 at full power, which is my Q number. All right. So M7 turns on my air assist. The M10Q255 is full power, laser on, and then it starts cutting. And it goes through and it cuts and it cuts and it cuts. It shuts off when it needs to. And then once we get down to here, this M9 turns my air assist off. The M11 turns my laser off. It raises up at 20 inches a minute. It then makes sure the laser's turned off once again. Make sure the M3 spindle on is turned off. And then it does a full stop, rewind, and ready to go. So that is what the G code tells you. So that's all there is to it. Hey, what's up, Matt? How are you? Sorry, I missed your comment if you posted it earlier, but now I'll just take my jump drive, I'll load up my file, and I'll go out and I'll cut my ornament. And it's really that simple, guys. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, don't worry. I'm in all the groups and everything. Ask away. I had a couple guys asking about my Donic drag knife settings. I've been cutting some leather for shoes and wallets and stuff. I'm actually going to be doing some more stuff. So with that being said, you guys, I'm out. Have a good one. Be safe.